All right, welcome to the review for the SPORT principle. The SPORT principle stands for specific, progressive, overload, and reversible tendium. This is very similar to the SAID principle. So the SAID principle was this one that we talked about for specific adaptations to impose demand, right? So the stress that you put on, there's a specific adaptation that your body will do to fit the demand that the task is asking for, right? So sport is very similar in that training programs need to be specific, right, to the needs of the sport or health-related fitness component in which you're trying to improve. The programming needs to be progressive, which gets harder at a right pace. In order to become more fit, the body must work harder than normal or have greater stress put on it than normal. That talks about overload. So overload is the amount of stress. And if we stop exercising, the reversibility can occur in which you see a decrease in fitness levels. So reversibility is to use it or lose it. And then in order to stay motivated and shock the body, training must include tendium from time to time. This is just the variability in what you do. So making sure that you are creating a variety in how you train. So you're staying engaged in what's happening, right? Because if we're not interested or enjoying what we're doing, then we're not going to continue to do it. So basically making sure that you add a variety of what you do. Now, how do we apply sport to our training? So to apply it, let's think about using someone who's training for a marathon. So training to run some pretty high mileage, okay? And let's say that they haven't really run much in the recent times. So they're going to start by maybe running about 3 miles a day. And each week we're going to increase that by about 10%, right? Because a 10% increase would improve or ensure that we're making the correct progression and also not overloading our bodies with too much work. So let's say after week 1, we would go up to about 3.5 miles and we just keep adding on, okay? So this ensures like a slow progression, but also enough that you're still improving, right? Because if we don't progress, you do not get any developments, right? You don't get any changes. But we're also not overloading to the point where it's too much. We're overloading just enough where we're putting the right amount of stress so that our body can make those adaptations, okay? So and then we're building up to that high mileage so that when you get to the marathon, it doesn't feel as overwhelming than if you were to try and run it on day 1 of training. Now, when we're doing our rest periods, because throughout our training, we're obviously going to make sure we take some rest periods, you're going to want to make sure that they're not too long, right? So ensuring that our rest periods only last maybe 1 to 2 days. This way, we're not going to have any reversibility, right? We're using it, so we're not going to lose it. We're still giving our body the right amount of time to recover, but we're not taking too many days off where we lose some of the work that we've gained. Now, looking at this, how can we create some tendium, right? Tendium is that variability. So maybe one day I pick a different trail and I run somewhere else to ensure that I have something new to look at. Maybe I have a specific running playlist that changes. These are all things that you can create variety in your workout so that you still have maybe some more of a drive to want to keep doing it. So that's how you apply sport and the review for sport.